No more broken menus. WordPress has finally fixed navigation links so that they now automatically stay in sync with the pages that they point to. Now, if you've ever changed a page's URL or slug in WordPress and then found your navigation menu has broken links, then you know exactly the problem that I'm referring to. It leads to 404s and users who can't find your content. Well, this latest update fixes all of that, and it's a must-have upgrade for anyone working with the block editor in WordPress today. But there is one small catch. You have to know how to enable it for your existing menus. My name is Dave Smith. I'm a full-time WordPress contributor and core team member. And in this video, I'll take you through this feature, and I'll also be explaining exactly why I think it's quietly one of the best quality of life upgrades coming to WordPress 6.9. And of course, I'll show you that one trick that you need to ensure this works for your existing navigation menus. So if you're ready, let's dive in. So let me show you the problem I'm talking about. On this site, I have a link to the contact page at /contact. But if I go to WP admin and decide to rename that to Get in Touch and update, and then I view the front of my site and I click on the contact link, I get a 404. So what's going on here? Well, what happens is when I create a link to a page, it really feels like when I click this, I'm making a connection between the navigation item and the page, but that's actually not what's happening. In fact, it's just copying the URL of the page into the block. In fact, it's basically static. And that means if the page gets updated after you create the link becomes out of date because it's not synced. And what's worse is there's really no warning that this has happened. There's no sign the link is broken or disconnected. So when would this happen realistically? Well, sure, yeah, on a small site, maybe not that often. You'd probably notice if your navigation was broken. But if you're working on a bigger site, maybe with multiple people, multiple admins, then you may not know that someone has chosen to rename a page, and suddenly your whole website menu is broken and nobody knows why. Okay, so let me show you the fix that's coming to WordPress 6.9. On this site, I'm going to add a new link to the contact page again. And I'm going to save my menu, and then I'm going to go to the pages section and rename again the same thing. I'm going to rename it to Get in Touch. I'm going to save, and then I'm going to go to the front of my site and I'm going to click on the contact link, and this time we don't get a 404 and the page is pointing at the correct URL. Now, why does this happen? Well, unlike in older versions, in WordPress 6.9, links are configured to stay in sync automatically with the page that they are connected to. So if you link to a page, a post, or even a category, that connection is now fully dynamic. So you can change the slug, the menu updates. You can change your permalink, the menu updates. Simple, it just works. And how does this happen? Well, under the hood, WordPress is now storing a reference to the actual page itself, not just copying the URL. That means the block knows what you are linking to and it can update and refresh itself as needed. And of course, it comes with some UI and UX upgrades, which you've been able to see on the screen now. So to make this ultra clear that we are syncing the navigation link with a page or a post or a category, we have disabled the link field. So you can't type in here anymore. And there's this message, synced with the selected page. And if I want to change the URL, I now have to actively click unsync and edit so that it's obvious that I am severing the link with the underlying page. But there's a catch, and it's a big one. This only works for newly created navigation links. So if you've already got existing navigation menus, you're going to need to know how to enable this feature for those. And that's what I'm going to show you next. So let's take a look now at how we can fix existing menus. So here's my site, and as you can see, I've got links to About, Projects and Contact, and each one of these is not a synced link. So if you want to update your link, what you have to do is select the link itself, then click on link, and then click edit to edit the link. Then you need to click and remove all the text in the link box or the existing URL, and you need to search for the page that you want to link to. And in my case, it was the About page, I know that. So I'm going to click on the suggestion here, and now we have a dynamic link created. It is now synced with the page called About. And I need to repeat this process for each link in my navigation. So I delete the text, search for projects again, and then that is updated. And we can tell it's been updated because we have this purple affordance here. We have the locked UI in the sidebar here. And don't forget, of course, once you've updated all your links to become dynamic, you'll want to click up here in the save box to make sure you persist those changes to your database. Now, a question some of you may be asking at this point is, why does this behavior not just automatically apply to all my existing navigation links? And the answer is backwards compatibility. WordPress could have tried to guess how each static URL mapped to a page, but if it had got that wrong, then it would have broken a navigation menu. And when you multiply by the millions of websites that are running on WordPress, you can see why it's not safe to make this an automatic automatic feature. And it needs to be something that people opt into. So going forward, if you create a new link, the default behavior will be to have that synced. But obviously, if you want to update your existing menus, you're going to have to go through the process that I just showed you to update those. And hopefully, unless you have a menu with thousands of links, this is not going to be too much of a problem. So why do I think this feature is a good quality of life upgrade for WordPress 6.9? Seems like a small thing, but I think it solves real world problems, and it also lays the foundation for bigger improvements to come. First of all, as we've seen, it prevents broken links, but secondly, it allows you to see which links are dynamic, such as this one linking to the contact page, versus ones that are static, such as this one linking directly to WordPress.org. And that extra clarity helps avoid mistakes, especially on larger or more collaborative sites. But this is just the start. I've been user testing with a group of 20 people, and going through these workflows, most people didn't even realize what they were linking to. So in future versions of WordPress, we're aiming to upgrade this UI still further to show a preview of the linked page right inside the navigation link, and also to sync the title of the page with your navigation menu if you so choose, so that even if the title of your page changes, your navigation will still reflect that automatically. It's all part of a bigger effort to make navigation more intuitive, flexible and powerful as we go into 2026 and beyond. So, what do you think? Do you think this little quality of life upgrade is going to help you build better menus? And I'm curious, if there was one thing you could change in WordPress for navigation menus, what would that be? Let me know down below in the comments, and as a full-time contributor, I can make sure that your feedback gets to the people who are working on WordPress. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. It really does help. And if you're more interested in more videos about WordPress 6.9 and beyond, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. That's it for now. I'll see you next time. Bye.